Right.
All right, Khalwale, is it fair for the national government to increase its allocation, but yet senators now argue that you cannot give too much money to the counties because the money is not there? Is it a fair argument?
You know, listening to Senator Sifuna, I now understand why it was a basic requirement that students must score a particular grade in a particular subject to go into a particular profession. The figures he's throwing around, you can use them to justify his concern, but until you realize that it is percentages that count, then when you say 350 versus 15 billion, it doesn't become clear to the mind. What do I mean? The national government, when there is an increase in revenue collection, the way it has been, it is going to end up to get more because under the Constitution, the national government gets the lion's share, percentage-wise. And on the other hand, the county government will get less. Senator Sifuna, intelligence is inborn. For you to be a lawyer, you must be intelligent. You are a very intelligent man. But you are supposed to learn something else if you're intelligent. You have to learn to be reasonable. You have to learn to be reasonable. You are being unreasonable by thinking that the only problem in this country is county needs. You are being unreasonable by assuming that the moment you have taken money to the county, you are all under Article 96 of defending and protecting the interests of the counties ends there. In fact, taking the money is the beginning of that role. You are supposed to go further and interrogate how is the money used. At the moment, you know for a fact, and I'm not blaming the governors who went into office 6 months ago, but over the last 10 years, devolution has worked, but has not worked very well because the Senate has not been assertive in terms of oversight. It's only yesterday that I was happy that an Azimio-led committee was now pinning down governors to explain why 65.7 billion shillings that they got for the money that we gave them, they refused to remit that money for statutory institutions, including LAP Trust, LAP Fund, the County Pension Fund. That is the oversight. So when you excite yourself, you exchange little love calls and letters with the governors that we have disagreed with Khalwale and Maina on a figure, and then you don't pin them down on the wastage of billions of shillings. That is the real failure of government. Finally, but not least, my brother, the simple principle in English of digging a hole. You think we are unreasonable? We who are running government? We are reasonable. We know that your business as the opposition is not to help us to succeed. So, we got you digging a hole and had to go into that hole because we had taken over government. And you are encouraging us to continue digging the hole so that 5 years later, you find us in an even deeper hole for you to justify why you should take over government. We have gone into the hole, we have stopped digging, and we are now navigating our way out.
Okay.
Do you know, Senator Sifuna here, if you refuse to be reasonable and just use your intelligence, you'll do what Idi Amin did. You'll do what Moi did in 1992. First economic challenges, they said, print more money. And there was money in circulation. So this is the bit about being reasonable I'm talking about. You'll end up telling us, print more money.
No.
Listen, my brother, for the first time in the history of this country, salaries have delayed. Not because William Ruto, the president, has eaten the money for salaries, but because the Consolidated Fund, and you are a lawyer, you know the provisions of Public Finance Act, that public debt enjoys the first charge on the Consolidated Fund.
Okay.
So if we had promised people 407 billion, and then public debt comes and enjoys that first charge, where would you have gotten the 407?
Okay.
You know what you would have said? You would have said, print more money.
Okay.